What's up guys, it's Tommy here and welcome to a brand new Liverpool transfer news video where we will talk about Saul'S because the Spanish midfielder's agent is in talks with Liverpool FC. I'm super excited about this news. Saul'S is a world-class midfielder at Atletico Madrid. He won the La Liga title and he won 2 Europa Leagues with the Atletico and many other trophies as well. And also, in this video we will take a look at what kind of transfers Liverpool have confirmed, outgoing transfers today, which is also very exciting because Liverpool are getting 17 million pounds from those outgoing sales. So stay tuned, make sure to watch this video in detail, and if you enjoy these, leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and turn on the bell notification. So Saul'S' agent, according to many English newspapers, and the Daily Mail is one of them, he is in contact with Liverpool over a move for Saul, despite Barcelona being pretty desperate to swap Antoine Griezmann with Saul for a whopping, Griezmann's salary is a whopping £300,000 per week, so no wonder Barcelona want to get rid of Griezmann. But Barcelona will be wary that Atletico Madrid got Luis Suarez last summer and they ended up winning the championship, winning the La Liga title ahead of Barcelona because of signing Luis Suarez. That was a pretty foolish move by Barcelona, kicking Luis Suarez out. Ronald Koeman was not a big fan of Suarez. He wanted to build a new attack, but it really backfired on Barcelona because they didn't win the Champions League, didn't win the La Liga title. So Barcelona are maybe having second thoughts on sending Griezmann back to Atletico Madrid after just 2 years, because what if Griezmann and Suarez fire Atletico Madrid to another league title? That will be absolutely devastating to Barcelona, attracting even new stars, even like bigger players in the future. What is a fact is that Saul has been basically the emergency player for Simeone at Atletico. Whenever there was a hole in the Atletico Madrid team, Saul was put there to put out the fire, to avert the crisis. He has been played at left back many times and basically he's out of favor at Atletico Madrid. He has been played at out of position, or he has been on the bench many times, and this really upset Saul. He was one of the first names on the team sheet for Atletico Madrid and for the Spanish national team, but now that's no longer the case. He hasn't been selected for Spain many times and he hasn't been selected for Atletico Madrid many times in his favorite position. That means Saul wants to leave. He wants to try out a new challenge. He has been at Atletico Madrid for 13 years, so he wants to try a new challenge. He's a big fan of the Premier League, and in this video I will tell you exactly what Saul said about Liverpool when Atletico was about to meet Liverpool in the 2020 Champions League campaign. And according to the Daily Mail, Atletico Madrid are willing to sell Saul for just 40 million euros, which I think is an absolute bargain for a world-class player like Saul. That's just 34 million pounds, because Saul still has 5 years left on his contract and he also has a release clause of 150 million euros. Getting Saul for 34 million would be an absolute bargain. And a Spanish reporter, Joaquin Maroto, wrote this about Saul in 2018. Saul is what the English call a box-to-box midfielder. He has that great physical presence in midfield. He covers so much ground. He can arrive in the area to score. He can sweep up at the other end of the pitch. What Steven Gerrard was for Liverpool and England, Saul can be for Spain. And before Atletico Madrid played Liverpool and eventually knocked out Liverpool, at the time the holders of the Champions League, in February 2020, Saul spoke about Liverpool, and I think this is very interesting how he sees our beloved Liverpool. Maybe some people don't rate Henderson as highly as Wijnaldum, Naby Keita or Fabinho, but I think he's the one player that brings that team together. Henderson does that so-called dirty work that Gabi Fernandez used to do for us, that I have to do, that Koke does. He's an example in so many facets of the game. It's very hard to escape that pressure from Liverpool when they come at you the way they do. One man comes out and his teammate doesn't say to him, "Where are you going?" he goes with him. They all go, and then if they get turned, then at least 7 of them, the 4 players at the back, 3 players in the middle, they all run back, charge back, and trying to get the ball back. They go out madly pressing like animals, because they know that even if they lose the ball, they are still going to have at least 7 players running back like mad to win the ball back. And it was a praise which is probably out of pure admiration. Having been one of Simeone's really influential and crucial players, he was ready to run himself into the ground for Simeone, and I think he's ready to run himself into the ground for a new coach, Jurgen Klopp. He said, I think Simeone is the only one who truly values my work. That's why I play him almost every minute. He doesn't just give players minutes. He knows I will suffer because I'm playing in positions that are not ideal for me, but he values what I do. I can't say no to him. He's the man who gave me my debut, who helped me grow as a player and a person, so I do it for the team. And this is what the Atletico president said about Saul. He said, I have no idea whether Griezmann is coming to Atletico or not. They haven't told me anything, I don't know anything, but I do not know how the negotiations are, not even if there are any, but there is a time left for you to know what is going to happen. In the world of football, everything is possible, but in the Griezmann case, I have no idea, and I haven't asked Griezmann or Barcelona. But the president said a lot of people will ask about all the players, as always, but in this case, I don't know if Liverpool has contacted Saul's agent or not. We do have a technical service that deals with this very well, and we will be aware of everything. So he basically left the door open of Saul potentially ending up at Liverpool, because Saul's agent is in talks with Liverpool. We can pretty much confirm that. And also, hearing what Saul said about Liverpool, it's pretty clear that he absolutely loves this hard-working, really relentless, high-pressing playing style that Liverpool play, because Atletico Madrid play in some aspects of their tactics pretty similar to Liverpool. They also have a very high-energy midfield, which Saul has been part of for many years. But recently, when Atletico had problems at left back, Saul was put in at left back, and also he has been not the first choice midfielder anymore at Atletico Madrid. Also in part to the Liverpool game, because I think Llorente, the player who scored 2 goals against Liverpool on that fateful day where Liverpool lost in extra time to Atletico Madrid, he has been, Llorente, one of the players who actually took Saul's place in the midfield, and Saul has been put at left back, or he has been at the on the bench, and he's just too good of a player to play on the bench regularly. And what is really encouraging for Liverpool is that we have sold 2 players for a combined £17 million. It has been confirmed today that Marco Grujic is officially off to FC Porto. We sold him for £10.5 million, and Porto are a decent club for Grujic. He has been on loan there, and he's only 25 years old, so he needs to play regularly, and he's not good enough at the level that is required to play in the Liverpool midfield. And also Liverpool have a 10% sell-on clause on Marco Grujic, so whenever Grujic is sold to another club from Porto, we get 10% of that transfer fee. And considering that we only bought Grujic 6 years ago for only 5 million, I think we more than doubled our, we basically made more than 100% profit on Grujic. And if we sold for another like 20 million, maybe in 1 or 2 years, we get 2 million out of that as well. Taiwo Awoniyi is another player who is on the verge of joining Union Berlin. I'm not sure if it's 100% official yet, but the transfer fee there is 6.5 million, which is a huge profit, like 15 times the amount that we bought Taiwo Awoniyi for. Also, we bought him 6 years ago, and we only bought him £400,000, that's 0.4 million pounds, and 6 years later, after many loan spells, and Taiwo Awoniyi never could get a work permit in England, which probably hindered his chances of impressing Liverpool and Jurgen Klopp, because we only saw him in pre-season. And yes, 6.5 million is not a lot for a striker with huge potential, but Avoni only scored 6 goals in the Bundesliga when he played, and yes, in lesser leagues in Belgium, in the Netherlands, he scored 18 goals, but when it comes to a major top 5 European league, Avoni could only get 6 goals, and also we have a 10% sell-on clause on that transfer as well, on that contract as well. So if Avoni turns into a world-class striker and Union Berlin sells him for 20, 30, 40 million, we get 10% of that as well. Neil Jones is expecting Harry Wilson to be the next exit at Liverpool. He said negotiations are ongoing with Fulham, who are leading the chase, but there are a lot of interested clubs in Harry Wilson. Not sure Liverpool will get the full asking price, which is 15 million pounds, but if we could somehow finesse whoever buys Harry Wilson and get 15 million for him, we could get in total 32 million pounds for these 3 players only: Grujic, Avoni and Harry Wilson. That is a huge amount of money, 32 million. And if we could sell Shaqiri and Origi for another 30 million, we are sitting on 60 million pounds just from player sales, which would be absolutely fantastic. So I really hope that Liverpool can do it. And Neil Jones, who is a journalist with the close ties to Liverpool, also reports that Naby Keita could sign a new contract at Liverpool, which is really encouraging. I really hope that Naby Keita stays fit and he gets many chances to impress Jurgen Klopp and to impress the Liverpool fans this season, because Naby Keita, he has been at Liverpool for 3 years now and he really needs to play more and he needs to stay fit. I think if he stays fit and if he plays 35 to 40 games at Liverpool, he has the capability of scoring 5 to 10 goals every season, and I really hope that is the case. Neil Jones also reports, there is a lot of news coming from him, that Minamino is likely to stay with Liverpool this summer. Last season he spent the second half of the season on loan at Southampton, where he impressed. He scored a couple of goals, one against Chelsea, and also he played 10 Premier League games. And the report states that right now Minamino will stay at Liverpool and Jurgen Klopp will give him a full season to impress him and the Liverpool fans. And also Liverpool are open to selling Neco Williams, Nat Phillips, as well as Xherdan Shaqiri and Divock Origi. So I think that's very exciting, because if we are getting around 60 million from player sales, I'm pretty sure that we will have the money to sign an awesome midfielder like Saul and a really exciting attacker as well. Somebody like Tonya Malen would be a fantastic transfer in my opinion. And yes, 10.5 million for Marco Grujic and 6.5 million for Avoni doesn't seem like great prices, but it's reasonable to note that right now it's very hard to know what a fair price for any player is, because of the pandemic and because pretty much all clubs have lost huge amounts of money in the past 1.5 years. Nobody is worth what they previously might have been. We might have got 15-20 million for Grujic if it wasn't for the pandemic, and Edwards will no doubt have an idea, but it obviously depends on what other clubs are looking to pay. The transfer market is always the market where whatever another club is paying for a player, is willing to pay for a player, that's what the player is worth. Just put this into context. I'm just reading on the Liverpool Echo newspaper that the City Football Group, the Manchester City ownership group, who owns 11 football clubs, they just took out £472 million loan underwritten by the bank Barclays in one of the biggest debt deals sport has seen, surpassing even Barcelona's restructuring debt that was struck with US investment bank Goldman Sachs. That is absolutely crazy that they took out almost a £500 million loan deal just to keep the business afloat, just to keep the clubs going until there is a rebound in the finances of the football clubs. For example, FSG got an investment of $750 million and they only sold 11% of FSG to Redbird Capital, an investment firm, and that is a huge investment. So I think Liverpool financially will be alright, but let me know what you think about all of the things we talked about in this video, and thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this. Have a nice day. See you later, guys. Goodbye.